I know you think you know what I'm about to talk about. How, yeah, just follow your fear and you'll get to abundance, you'll get to your life purpose. Well, it goes a little bit deeper than that. It's almost as if it's a little bit disguised as something else. And I'll tell you my story. So, I was born in in a place where if you're not the best at something, it's probably not, it's not your calling. You shouldn't be doing that. And I was very artistic when I was young. I was very much into arts, painting, music, dancing, which means math and sciences didn't really interest me much. As a matter of fact, I hated that. I couldn't crunch numbers in my head, and I was just hiding behind, I just wanted to get the grades, passing grades, and be okay. And I just knew in my heart that that wasn't for me. Okay. So I continued on with my life in music. I was playing piano for many years, and Matt kept on knocking on my door every once in a while, like, hey, I'm here, look at this, learn this, do this. When I came to US, it was a complete leap of faith. Okay. I somehow, by the mere coincidence, so to call, I landed a job in finance. And I worked at it for the first few years until there was a time for me to move to New York. And I was in the midst of the financial crisis of 2008. And there were no jobs, obviously. People were jumping off buildings, losing billions and millions of dollars. And here I was looking for a job. And that's when I realized, okay, the universe is telling me that I need to do something different. And so what I did was I found another job in finance. And while everyone was losing jobs, I got a job. And I thought, okay, I think it's time that I finally take this by the horns and do it. And so I transferred my exams from my country, and I started building the path to getting my degree in finance. And here I am, 20 years later, after I have built my career in finance. And there was a point in my life when I almost became a math scientist. I was so into it. I was so taking that fear by the horns and facing it. I was so much, thank God I didn't do that. But there was a point where I almost completely went into math sciences, not even business related. Um, Fast forward another 10 years, I knew in my heart of hearts, I knew in my soul that there wasn't my life purpose, that it was a stepping stone to something much bigger or something different, at least. And even though I knew that, I kept on working at it because I kept on being good at my job and I kept on moving up. I kept on getting recognized. I kept on making more money. And my soul was cringing, okay? I was grinding. I kept on grinding, and I just knew that I need to start thinking, doing something else. I just did not know what that should be. And it took me years to let go because my ego was screaming at me. It was screaming, what are you going to do? How are you going to make money? How are you going to start from scratch now? You have no one to lean on here. I'm alone here in the US. I don't have family. I don't have my mom to knock on the door and say, hey, can I stay on for a while until I figure my life out? I can't do any of that. So I was so afraid of leaving my comfort zone that it crippled me from taking any action until the universe or God made the change for me. And that's what will happen. If you're not able to face your fears, and there is a life path that is waiting for you, the universe will make that change for you. And then it's not going to be pretty, okay? Because it will crash in your face. So it did. It crashed in my face. And while my original fear of math is something that took me on to a completely different life, that was just a stepping stone for me to doing something else, for even more abundance, for me doing what I'm here to do, for hitting and finally finding my life purpose, for really tuning into the God frequency, universal frequency, energy that is aligned with my life purpose. But without me taking that stepping stone years ago, I wouldn't have come to this realization, and I would not have come to this where I'm at right now. And it's funny because we think that us doing something, us getting to something, us making a lot of money is just going to be, meditating on it and kind of being open about receiving and all of that. It's not simply just that. It's simple. Once you overcome your fear that is crippling you, and it's could be a few layers deep down. For me, the fear of getting out of my comfort zone were just the scratching the surface. Beneath that fear was the fear of poverty. So you have to be able to question and dig more deeper and deeper and deeper to figure out what is the underlying fear that is stopping you from being the abundant, most fulfilled self, yourself. And a lot of times it's disguised as something else, but that's not the core fear. The fear of poverty is one of the most crippling fears that you can have. And of course, for me, I built a life of abundance already by trading time for money, and that wasn't what I wanted, and that wasn't making me happy or fulfilled. But because of the fear of poverty, I could not move on. I could not get out of that cycle. And it wasn't until I let go completely, meaning I wasn't looking for another finance job. I was completely letting the universe and God take over for me. And I was fully trusting the universe and fully trusting myself. Because the fear, whatever fear you have, is there to keep you safe. Your ego is there to keep you safe. But also, it's telling you something. it's telling me, it told me that I'm not trusting myself. I'm not trusting God. I'm not trusting the universe. I trust more that I keep on grinding and making paycheck to paycheck than to let the universe show me what my life purpose is and how abundant I can be. And that's infinite. It's infinite. Once you hit on your life purpose, the abundance flows freely to you. So, my question for you, my dear, is what is your fear? Because if you can pinpoint what your fear is, you are going to be able to get to the abundance that you want for you. But you have to overcome whatever it is that your fear is. And a lot of times, like I said before, is disguised as something else. Fear of leaving my comfort zone. It's not that. It was the fear of poverty because I grew up very poor. So that's all I have for today. Stay tuned. Leave me in the comments section. What is your fear? I want to know about you. And I'll see you soon.